Washington DC residents flee ahead of Trump inauguration. I can't be here. Now, why are you people running? Why are you people running now? At least allow him to be inaugurated first. What do you mean that you can't be here? You cannot be here now. When a child of God, when light comes, darkness will definitely flee. Because why are you people running? Light is here now. Alexandria witnessed Smith as plans for President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration next week. Spend a week in a cabin without technology. Its inauguration weekend coincides with my birthday weekend, which I usually do spend in DC. But when the election happened, I told myself, oh no, I can't be here except with Ms. Smith, whose mother was working at the Library of Congress during the January 6th attack on the US Capitol in 2021. I just remember that feeling of fear for her, and then also just concerned for me, being in the city. I just knew for me, I didn't want to be around that sort of hostile negative energy. Don't want to be there. The DC resident said she will hunker down in a cabin with 4 friends during inauguration weekend and do some vision boarding, reflecting and reconnecting. As for the re-election of Trump, she says it represents the ugly side of America that people don't want to acknowledge. I guess I may be mistaken, had a lot of faith that people saw what happened during the first administration, and I figured we as a country wouldn't regress, said Ms. Smith, who worked as an attorney, but I also know the reality of living in this country as a black woman. As much as I wanted Harris to win, there was something in me that still told me that America is not ready for their first black woman president. Not only that, she was running against Donald Trump, who has an almost cult-like following that is so powerful. While Whitney Smith and some DC residents continue to process a second Trump presidency and prefer to be away from the city, many conservatives and Republican reporters are excited about the upcoming inauguration. Hotels in the city were 70% booked as of Wednesday and fetching between $900 and $1,500 a night. Wow. Despite holding the highest office in the nation, Trump has consistently distanced himself from Washington DC, both physically and ideologically. He was beaten by former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley in the District of Columbia's Republican primary election and polled only 6.6% against Democratic opponent Kamala Harris in the general election. Okay, so is that why you are running away? Why are you running away? During the 2024 presidential campaign, Trump branded Washington as a filthy and crime-ridden embarrassment to our nation. He has vowed to radically overhaul the Capitol. Is there anything wrong with that? Recruiting billionaire tech entrepreneur Elon Musk to stash the federal workforce, which some see as a desire to disrupt the city's established political order. People are just angry that this man is against this your LGBTQ whatever. That is the main problem they have with him. He's not going to allow it. Even Elon Musk gets it, because I think his son transgendered to a woman, and it's like, this son is not my son, and I think he has disowned the son or something. So he's really angry with transgender people, and that is probably why people don't want Donald Trump as their president, because of this thing. Because he will not take it at all. Like, why are you transgending? You would hear a 2-year-old child. I saw an interview the other day. A mother and the father said, and their child is talking about changing her gender at 2 years old. Who is putting that kind of a thing in a 2 years old head? The country is turning upside down, and they need to do an overhauling. So Trump is here to do that, and that is why they are angry with him. Trump's first presidency was marked by events that brought conflict and disruption to the streets of Washington, including holding up a Bible at the site of previously dispersed George Floyd's protest. He engaged with the city's cultural and political life less than his predecessors, patronizing only his restaurants at the Trump International Hotel and shunning traditional events such as the Kennedy Center Honors and the White House Correspondents Association dinner. If you have a restaurant too, if it's not Donald Trump, won't you go to your restaurant? Where will you go? You'll be going to different restaurants. Of course he's going to go to his restaurant. The people that people used to take like one big thing. If you had a business, won't you go and support your business? You go to other. If I want to go there just because I want to go there, it's fine. But of course, I'm going to support my business and go to my business. What will you patronize before? The day after the election, Tara Butler, a Washington D.C. resident, emailed her relative asking who was interested in going on a cruise or some other adventure January 19 to 25. For Butler, the memories of the January 6 riots in which Trump supporters violently stormed the U.S. Capitol in an event to stop the certification of electoral votes and encountering pro-life protesters following the 2020 election makes her not to want to be in the city during the inauguration festivities. It's okay, bye-bye. You can go. They're not going to even feel your absence. They're not going to know that you're not there. So if you want to go, bye-bye. Initially, Butler was expecting house guests in January in hopes of a different outcome, but she will now spend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday weekend in California. Bye-bye. I have a fundamental set of beliefs and values that differ greatly from the support of the president-elect. So it is better I just remove myself, said Butler, a human resource executive who had worked for the federal government for nearly 2 decades before leaving to work at a non-profit organization. It says to me that we would rather have a criminal leading our country than a person of color or a criminal rather than a woman. June Williams Coleman has similar sentiments. In July 2024, the Houston-based physician was in a clothing boutique in Martha's Vineyard when she heard screaming around the television in the shop. President Joe Biden had just announced that he was halting his re-election campaign and was throwing his support behind his Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic presidential nominee. People were jumping up and down. It was such a powerful moment, remembered Coleman, 61. It was really interesting being in Martha's Vineyard. During that time, everyone that you ran into was so excited about it. Harris' presidential candidacy. Coleman was so confident about Harris' chances that she purchased airline tickets to DC on July 28, just a week after Biden's announcement, in anticipation of a possible Harris inauguration. A Harris inauguration, she said, would have been unlike anything we had seen because of the joy, because of the number of people who were going to participate. Is the number that we want to eat? Somebody that would allow nonsense to be happening in the US, that would allow transgender, that would allow a lot of things, is the one that you're happy about. I beg you. Pointing to Harris' connection to historically black colleges and black Greek organizations. We hear. Instead of traveling to DC, Coleman, who plans to get a refund for her plane ticket, will spend inauguration weekend in Lake Tahoe with her 15-year-old daughter. What's our business? People should go now. In 2016, when Hillary Clinton lost, we still came to DC in 2017 because they had the Women's March. Coleman said, acknowledging the lingering political grief, it was so exciting and I really wanted my daughter to see that, but it is not the same now. Sorry. But nobody is going to notice your absence because they don't need you to be there. Nobody needs you to be there. If you don't want to be there, do not be there. Because who is looking for you in the first place? I beg. And listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.